Hi, it's Amélie. Today we're going to talk about how to practice EJ2, which is the daily exercise number 2 in this book, Taffanel and Gaubert, 17 grand daily exercise or big daily finger exercises for the flute. Mine is in many, yeah, mine has been used a lot. So, you might have seen my video about EJ1. Today we do the second, number 2. And it's very, very similar, except that it's in minor. So EJ1 is in major. Like I'll play the first 2 lines of EJ1, or maybe the first line. It goes. Second in EJ2 in minor. So the third is a semitone lower, the third note. So it's the same principle. So the first line, you have 2 lines on D that start on D, then 2 lines that start on E flat, then 2 lines that start on E. It goes like that, semitone by semitone, and it's always the same pattern that's repeated over and over. So there's 2 different patterns. First line is the first pattern. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First 5 notes of a minor scale. So you start on D, you do the first 5 notes of the D minor scale. You go up and down 4 times. So I'll play that first line. Okay, and the second line, the first note becomes like the 7th note, the leading tone of that line. So it becomes 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 in E flat minor. So D, E flat, F, G flat, which is the 3rd note in E flat minor, and then A flat. So it goes like this. And the 4th one, the ending is different. Instead of having all whole, like just 1 step, in between each note, you have to do a 3rd at the end instead of a 2nd when you go down. And this way that brings you to the next set, which starts on E flat. So I'll do that last one. And it ends on the E flat, first note of the next line. You know what? I'll play that first page so you can hear that pattern being repeated like 3 times in that case. The first 6 lines. I'll go not too fast and I'll slur them by 2. Okay, so you can hear how it's built. Okay, so once you learn how it sounds, it becomes quite easy, because if you make a mistake, you'll hear it right away, and you'll correct it by yourself. So that's good. I like those types of exercise that have a pattern that you can recognize. This way you correct yourself. Now. Don't try to learn the whole thing all at once. Take your time. Sometimes I give my students just 4 lines every week when they are learning it. When they know it already, maybe we do a little bit more of it. When you practice it, you'll see you have page 6, 7, 8, and then at page 9, like it's a 4-page exercise. And at one point, I'll just take my book and show you. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So you have the first 2 pages here. Then you get to this other 2 pages here. And when you get to the pattern starting on C sharp, at the end of that pattern, you have a repeat sign. So you start over from the very beginning of the exercise, and it's written in French, reprise à l'octave. Reprise à l'octave means just when you repeat, play it an octave higher. So the second time, you play that one octave higher, and then you go all the way like that. And this time, when you get to that pattern on C sharp, you continue, but you continue playing everything one octave higher until the very end. So it means that the last page, you'll be playing, let's say if I play the last 4 lines, I'll do it all detached slowly. So it goes all the way to the high B. This way you work on your whole register. So it's pretty long if you do the whole thing. So that's why I'm saying don't try to learn everything all at once, because you know it's more solid if you do less and you repeat it until it becomes easy than if you learn too much by the end of the segment you're trying to learn. You don't remember the beginning of it, and then it can't go in your long-term memory. So you're better with like 4 lines that you repeat 3 times than 12 lines that you do once. So yeah, and then once you know it, then obviously you can do the whole exercise, no problem. Then there's another thing that you have to take into consideration when you practice that. When you start, you can start by just single tonguing. Single tonguing I think is great because I've noticed that people tend to, when they try to go too fast, sometimes they skip a note, but it looks like when you single tongue, you tend to separate each note in your mind as well. So it helps not skipping notes. But then after that, you can start working on different articulations. So let's see here. You have 10 different articulations. So you can do it in very different ways. You can say, I'll do a whole page with one articulation, and usually what I do is 2 lines with one, and then I switch. So I do one pattern with one pattern with 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll play those articulations for you. So for the purpose of this video, I'll play 1 pattern per articulation or 2 lines. So I'll start on F because I've already played the first 6 lines. I won't go too fast, but you know, you could go like a good goal would be 120, like, but I won't go at that speed for now because I want you to hear. Let's talk about speed later because I want you to hear the articulations. Okay, so first articulation, slurred by 8. I usually finish on the first note of the next line because it feels more finished because it's a cadence. So now second articulation, slurred by 4. And third articulation, 1 detached, 3 slurred. Fourth, 3 slurred, 1 detached. Fifth, 2 slurred, 2 detached. You can do it single tongue or double tongue. So you can go ta ha ta 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 ha ta 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 or ta ha ta ka ta ha ta ka ta. Then the opposite, number 6, 2 detached, 2 slurred. So now the 7th articulation, the 2 slurred are in the middle, so 1 detached, 2 slurred, 2 detached, 2 slurred, 2 detached, 2 slurred. So just remember the slurred are just in the middle of the group of 4. I'll start on B. That too, you can go ta-ta, ha-ta, ta-ta, ha-ta, ta, or you can go ta-ta, ha-ka, ta-ka, ha-ka, ta-ka, ha-ka, ta-ka, ha-ka, ta-ka, ha-ka, ta. I always use the ta on the first and third notes and the ka on the second and fourth note. The ta has to be on the strong part of the beat. So now, number 8, slurred by 2. So I start on C. Number 9, slurred by 2 again, but instead of slurring 1, 2, and 3, 4, you slur 2, 3, and 4, 1. So the first note is detached, but then it's slurred by 2. And then 10 is all detached. So either single-tongued or double-tongued or both you can do. You can practice both one after the other. And that's it. Then you continue, obviously, to practice it. When I practice that, I tend to use this B flat, this fingering of B flat with the index finger instead of the thumb, so that, you know, I keep this one also in shape for when I really need it, when it's not possible to use the thumb. But in repertoire, I tend to use the thumb whenever I can, you know, whenever it's possible. But for now, it depends. Some days I use the thumb, some days I use the other one. It's good to be able to use both. Then when you practice that, you can use a metronome to push yourself, but don't push too fast. Make sure you know the stuff before you push. Then there's different ways, you know. You could go like, let's say you're not yet at 120, but you're almost there, or slower than that, doesn't matter. You can go do little sprints. It's easier to play fast for a short period of time than play fast the whole time. So let's say I think I was at E flat or something like that. I'll start at E flat. So you can go with a little sprint like this. Or two beats in a sprint. Okay. You can also do the sprint do the middle, you know, like this. So there's different ways, but I feel like when you give it a little rest, your brain can reset. Also, keep your fingers as close as possible from the keys. It's like less moving far from the keys will help you. And then you can use rhythms and you can use like sprints like that. Also remember to practice slowly once in a while. So you can go, you practice it slowly once, then you practice it fast, then you go back to slow. But yeah, sometimes you have to push yourself to go faster than what's comfortable. And yeah, so like there's rhythms as well. Let's say I start on F, 1 octave higher. You can go like this, one long, one short. One short, one long. 1 long, 3 short. One, 3 short, 1 long. Basically, I just think of on which note I'm going to stop. So those are good ways, to practice it and also make it a bit different, because if you practice it always the same way, it can become redundant. But I also feel like when you put more emphasis on one note, then it becomes easier to play equally, instead of having a technique that's not equal and well controlled. So it helps to control your technique better and make sure that you're not playing like without wanting to, like, unequal stuff like that. You don't want that. If that happens, practice rhythms, practice slowly, practice in different ways so that you keep it under your own control, not just your fingers going by themselves. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and go and check out our website, musigi.com, for our methods and also our Patreon. Thanks for watching.